Hello and welcome. It's Sunday Night Live. Here's Sunday, June 21st, 2026. My name is Marc B, Marc Belaiche, co-founder of Guhuza, and I'm joined by Marc A.
Marc-Anthony Jackson, talent client creator here at Guhuza. I'm happy to be here again for another Sunday Night Live, Mark. Hey!
Can't believe how fast the weeks go by, right?
Oh, so quickly.
So, on this podcast, we talk about what's happening in the labor market, recruiting, staffing, hiring. We throw in some interesting tidbits of information. We talk about tech and so on. We look really beyond the headlines and talk about what these trends actually mean for employers, recruiters, and job seekers. So, this week's theme, seems to be a recurring theme, is AI. And if AI can help everyone create a polished resume, how do employers figure out who's actually qualified? So let's talk about resumes. And what's really happening is that resumes are becoming less reliable. Like only 1/3 of employers are very confident that resumes accurately reflect a candidate's true skills. What are you seeing, Marc A?
Mark, we've been talking about this for weeks, and I agree with you completely because I think resumes are becoming harder for employers to rely on by themselves, really. A resume is still useful. It gives you the starting point. It tells you where someone's worked, what they've studied, the kind of experience that they're claiming to have. But the problem with the resumes are that they're becoming more polished than ever. Like AI is basically making every job and every resume look the same, sound the same. It just doesn't. It just looks professional on paper, but when you actually speak to the candidate, what do you get?
Exactly, and AI, like to your exact point, like AI is just making it harder to find great talent. So this is another study that came out was that the top 20% workers, this study found the top 20% workers are hired 19% less often since generative AI, ChatGPT, Perplexity, all that kind of stuff, really created universally polished like resumes. And historically, like strong candidates stood out through better resumes. They had made sure spelling, grammar, format, all that was better. So you'd recognize a better quality candidate because they took time to make sure that is. But now you've got resumes that all look amazing.
Now, I wouldn't say that resumes, the value is completely lost in a resume. And as to the point I mentioned before, we still get the basic information, a kind of guideline on what they've been doing, what schooling they have, but it's not the full picture. You still need to speak to people. You need to understand what's going on to better place them in any position in your organization. Because now two candidates can look exactly alike on paper. But at the end of the day, one's experiences differ from the others, and it gives you a realistic picture.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Like with people think that AI is going to replace recruiters and AI is going to replace the resume and AI is going to do this, AI is going to do that, but it always still comes down to that connection, doesn't it? Like that how do the two people correspond with each other? How do they communicate? Right?
The moral of the story is that the conversations really matter more than ever before now,
Oh,
right?
huge. Yeah. Yeah, like you can find those people that are, really like can they communicate and they become a better candidate, right?
And I just want to make one point to
Yeah.
Guhuza's credit. We're giving people that first step, getting you into that conversation, because that's where an employer is going to know, are you really a good person for this job? And I see a lot of times there's a lot of studies and things that have happened. People genuinely know if you're going to be hired within the 30 seconds of you introducing yourself. They get a vibe for you. They understand, am I going to bring this person on? Am I not going to bring this person on? So there's a lot of things around that.
Yeah, I was at an event last week and somebody asked me, well, what if I want, what if I want to tweak my resume? And it's like, no, in Guhuza, you only have one resume. You only put one resume, which shows your skills. And if you can do that job, we'll let you know. We'll ping you for a live interview, right? Like, I mean, don't try to be an accountant if you're a salesperson. Don't try to be an IT person if you're an administrative person, right? Like, just tell us what you do, and then we want to get you jobs that you can do, that you have the ability to do. It's not to say you can't do other jobs. Just what do you have the skills for?
And I just want to make one little quick point to
Yeah.
that before we end off this segment. Um, we talk about this on the Thursday at 2 o'clock a lot. People need to know what they want to do. People need to know who they are. They need to know their strengths. But otherwise, how am I going to place you in any position? Am I?
Absolutely.
You could come and say I want any job. that doesn't help me help you find a job.
Right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. So next survey, next headline: Fortune 500 companies added more than 36,000 employees, while 52% reported restructures costing $49 billion in severance. Isn't that crazy? I thought 36,000 new employees and $49 billion in severance. So how is it that companies can be hiring and restructuring at the same time? It's really interesting, isn't
Hey, the headlines just always confuse people. Let's be real.
it? How
When
can
we
two?
hear companies are laying off people or restructuring, it sounds like everything is bad. But at the same time, those same companies are still hiring. So what's
Uh,
going on?
yeah, I find there's, over the years, there's like little expressions that become kind of more familiar. People are using it, and that is like, how can it be that two things can be true at the same time, right? Like two opposite things are. This is a perfect example of that. So flexibility versus connection. So a new research suggests that remote work may increase feelings of isolation and mental distress for some employees. We kind of have known this for a while, just being at home and work balance. But what are you seeing? I mean, it's, the relationships are kind of gone. Like, don't talk to me. I don't want to meet in person. Like, send me an email, send me a text, send me a LinkedIn message, whatever. People don't talk to each other as much anymore.
I don't want to say people are becoming lazy. I don't want to say that, but remote work does have a lot of benefits, and
For
you
sure.
and I experience that. People save time, avoiding commuting, and they're more flexible in their day. But for some people, remote work makes them more productive and gives them a better work-life balance. Like I would
Yeah.
say, you and I have a pretty good work-life balance. We still get things done
Yeah.
both at work and at home.
Yeah.
But there's also a downside, especially for people who are new to the workforce, who really don't have much of a background. When you're early in your career, you learn from being around the people who you're around. Like you learn from everyone in the workplace. And that becomes a little harder when everything is remote. Well, I think we have a pretty good system with us,
We do.
but technology definitely helps, but doesn't fully replace the ability to connect in human. And we know that ourselves. We try to host events for our internal team to try to get them together, get them engaged, speaking with each other. Because putting a face to the voice that you hear on your calls is very, very important.
100%. Real conversations, relationships, human connection, like that helps you get a job, that helps your community confidence, and there's so many other benefits. So, do you want to plug your Thursday at 2 o'clock?
Yes, let me plug in my Thursday at 2 o'clock for job seekers, employers, recruiters, anyone is able to come to this Thursday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, where we go through what the struggles that job seekers are facing, try to provide some advice. Recently, what we've been doing is a lot of different presentations, trying to give people ideas on how different things work in regards to the job industry, how things work with AI. So it's a really cool conversation. We had a very good one this today. Well, not today, on
Oh,
Thursday. Sorry,
that's
it's
faster.
been some time. And I think it's a great opportunity for some people to come in, find out, network with people. I
Yeah,
know it's online and we just talked about how, it's nice to be in person, but sometimes you got to take a step back and do it online.
yeah. So we'll have the registration in the comments in the post here. So feel free to join. It's free to attend, and I'd love to have you on. And yeah, tomorrow we're back at it, Mark. Monday
Oh,
morning, we'll be
oh.
another week ahead. We'll see what happens, right? More stories in the labor market. We'll be back a week today, for Sunday Night Live again. And hey, here's to a good week, and see everybody next Sunday.
See everyone next Sunday, and we'll have a very good week this week, Mark.
Well, it'll be good. It'll be good. Awesome. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Marc A.
No worries.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Take care.